Welcome to today's Qualified at the Intersection. It is our Friday roundup where we talk about what we talked about all week and then some new stuff. I like for this to be kind of free flowing. So, started the week talking about appeasement and trying to hide from DEI. So, CBS, as part of their agreement to get this merger with Skydance, agreed to a bias monitor and to have this person on site, which really sounds like it's someone who's going to check to see if you say anything bad against the president or his party, which is wild. I mean, it's something that I read about in a book as a kid, but not thinking that this would be something in the United States. We did have standards and practices. You Lucy and Ricky, for those of you who don't, it was a TV show. I Love Lucy. They had to sleep in different beds, that kind of thing. But to have somebody embedded in a company and the administration, decide what the bias is, that's new. I'm fairly certain that's new. So, and then I talked about the misidentification of the issue with diversity, equity, inclusion. There are people out here who are blaming DEI, saying it's an industrial complex, saying that, it's divisive and that's the problem and we need to lean into fairness. Well, first of all, who decides what is fair? Because according to this administration, it is fair that Pete Hegseth, who is not qualified for his position, holds the position, and that he is able to demote qualified women and Black people from their positions in the military. That's in a triage situation. That's a medical term. You don't say, well, this person has a broken leg, but oh, this person is bleeding out. Let me do the broken leg first. You go with the most severely injured. And because Black women are bearing the brunt of this, that is why I'm collecting their stories for posterity, for purpose, and hopefully to be able to move dialogue and move change. So, and then I like to talk about, my training. I had a training that I released this week about what you can do still with your ERGs. I am a consultant, and it's a good training. It's going to be a living training. If you're a paid subscriber to this channel, you can have access to it for yourself, for your company. It is an incredible deal to do that. And then, I've been thinking about the jeans, okay? Sydney Sweeney and the jeans commercial. Now, here's the thing. It is clearly a play on superiority of one's genes, but I don't think she or the company, the jeans company, is the ones we need to really be making a big uproar over. What we should have been and should be making an uproar over is the fact that the President of the United States has been at several rallies when he was running for president and in his first term, where he talked to a predominantly all-white group and said they had excellent genes based on the racehorse theory. Now, the racehorse theory is a theory of Nazi racial superiority. The President of the United States has said this more than once. That is the genes controversy we should be worried about. And when you marry that with the fact that people like Elon Musk, who was in his orbit, but Elon Musk, who is very rich, has spoken about propagating the earth with his genes, having as many children as possible so his genes will dominate because he believes that his superiority of his genes and his intelligence is guaranteed to be passed down. And it's not just that. That is it. It's eugenics. There is a strong eugenics movement in this country that is behind the push for women, primarily white women, to have more children. We need to be talking. We need to be up in arms. We need to be doing op-eds. CNN needs to be reporting on the fact that the president, Elon Musk, tech luminaries, they are all in on this eugenics push. And everything they are doing is designed toward this fact that they believe certain people are more entitled by birth, by genes, by race. And this brings us to the Dark Enlightenment. We have people like Peter Thiel and Mark Andreessen, two billionaires who have a direct line to the White House. Andreessen is part of a secret chat with White House officials. These people believe in what they call the Dark Enlightenment, but what others, specifically in history, would have called a Herrenvolk democracy, which is a democracy for and by white people, wealthy white people at that, wealthy white men specifically, who make the decisions. And the rest of us submit to their will. And these tech people believe in this Dark Enlightenment where they take control, their products, we are basically enslaved to them because we don't deserve, and we can only go back to gene theory and eugenics, we don't deserve this place. Their intelligence and wealth makes them most deserving of being on top. They use technology to dominate us, and we submit to them. That is literally what people who have a direct line to the White House believe and are talking about and actually putting into action. Think about this. If you don't think all these people should be going to college, why are you getting rid of technical training programs and mentorships and externships and apprenticeship programs? Why is the government cutting those programs? Why are people so big on pushing out immigrants, and the administration saying that people who are on Medicaid can go pick those fruits and vegetables or work in the meat? These folks have a plan for the rest of us in this country, and they say it all the time openly. I'm actually most shocked by how openly people speak. There's an administration official said they were going to kill diversity in the workplace. Well, does diverse people, no one would speak like that openly previously, and it's like they don't care. We can hear, or so none of this is just chaotic. It all has a purpose. And so rather than talking about Sydney Sweeney's genes, I wish we were spending more time talking about the fact that the President of the United States is a eugenicist. The tech folks who are running our country now and have a direct
input to the White House are likely eugenicists and definitely believe in dark enlightenment, where they rule us and we submit to their rule. These are things we need to be screaming about and not really the genes at. So that's the weekly roundup. Excited to get into what's coming next week. Please like and definitely consider becoming a subscriber to this Substack. It matters. Being a paid subscriber, you get access to high quality training. I don't make you pay to leave comments. I think that's weird. I am going to be bringing in a new feature for paid subscribers where if paid subscribers have questions or things they're interested in, I am going to do some videos just for them because I do want them to know that I appreciate their patronage. But the newsletter in general is always available for everyone. So please subscribe. If you can become a paid subscriber, it helps us fund things like the Zora project. And with the training about what's next and what you can still do with the ERG, that is a high quality training. I have expertise as an attorney, as an adult education person. You can use that for your company individually. This is real good quality content for, $50 or $50 a year or $5 a month. I mean, you can't beat it with a stick. So thank you for all your support thus far, and we'll be checking in next week.